Hello Dirty Dams and Pinhead Larrys, what is going on? I am back again with another flow video for y'all. I ran a poll on Twitter to see what type of video y'all wanted from me next, so here I am. You guys said you wanted to know a little bit about how I got into my flow, so here is the magical tale of my magical fingers. Woo! So, it all started when I was a young buckaroo, way back in the day. I started entering the scene of electronic music and Plur and all of that when I was very little. Definitely wasn't legal. We went to a bunch of like those illegal warehouse parties back when they still had them. It was a good freaking time. I really miss those days. They should have ID'd though, just saying. Anyway, so I entered the scene at a young age and I fell super duper in love with just everything about it, the music, the people. I would always, see people practicing their flow arts and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, like, that's pretty cool. That looks great right now. I messed up. That looks freaking awesome. But the longer I was in the scene, the more deeper of appreciation and love I had for it. And we actually had this little tiny club in the state that I live in called Gravity Nightclub, and they didn't ID there either, so it was like 13-year-olds mixed with age groups all the way up to like 30-year-olds. It was a really weird time, definitely not legal. Gravity Nightclub was freaking amazing. They had so many beautiful things and everyone would just like come together and just be one big happy vibing family. And so when you walked in, there was like this area of empty space on the right, and then you would have like the stages on the left, and they would like go around and like outside. We had like 3 different stages and it was really cool with like go-go dancers. Ugh, I love that place. So if you go to the part on the right, it's just like this big empty space where there's a few vendors and all the flow artists. So there's like, the hoopers, the poi, the glovers, all that good stuff, and they're all just like chilling there. And I remember I was there, I think it was a show I went to for my friend's birthday. I'm not really sure where, it's all one big blur. So there was this one show we went to and we were already feeling pretty groovy as we walked up in there. And I remember I was just looking at all the lights. I was watching people like getting lost in the music, and every little thing they would do with their flow toy was just, it matched the music perfectly. And one of our friends who was very talented in gloving, who's super incredibly talented, and he was giving us a show, and I just remember thinking in my brain, like, these aren't just lights, like he's actually telling a story, like this is magic, there is something going on here. And that instant I just absolutely fell in love with it. And as the years went on, I honestly was more attracted to the orbit. I like dancing a lot and moving my body and getting weird and wobbly and wonky, so I really like that you could like swing it around your arm, your leg, your whole body. You could just like really move with the flow toy. Like that was my vibe. I wasn't very good. To this day, I still can't say I'm very good, but that's what I initially had fallen in love with first. In about 2017, I was dating this guy, and our group of friends was just this big group of flow artists, and it was like the most beautiful thing ever. We would have meetups like weekly, sometimes more than once, with all of our homies, up to 15 people, maybe even more, and we would all just trade and vibe and flow and connect with each other and tell each other stories with our fingers and do trios and duos, and it was just so freaking amazing. It was such a good time, and I just have so many memories, mental images of that summer, and it really helped me get in touch with my flow. Watching them do it, watching them get lost, watching them know what they're doing, having them give me tips and all that, it just really helped with my flow. So support from your friends is everything. It was later on that year, I don't think it was like Christmas yet, it might have been, I don't really know. I think it was just honestly a random act of kindness, but 2 of those people from that friend group actually got me my first pair of gloves. One of them I actually live with right now. He's my best friend and one of the best damn flow artists you will ever see. You'll see his move soon. I had a lot of friends that helped me with my flow, that gave me pointers, and they bought me my first pair of gloves, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not touch that pair for like a solid year. It was honestly just me not feeling comfortable enough to flow. I thought, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to wear these gloves, I don't deserve to get a light show, like everyone's gonna laugh, like I'm just not good. And you need to get out of that mentality right now, because I just want to let you know that flowing, it's all about like who you are. It's all about you. It's all about your uniqueness. It's all about what you feel in that moment. It's all about if you're having fun and just dancing and just feeling it in that moment. Of course, it helps to be good and have those perfected tricks and all that stuff, but just because you know how to do a lot of tricks and stuff doesn't mean you're a good flow artist. Like, sure, that's cool, but I want to see you move with the music. I want to see you come out of your flow. I want to know who you are based off of what you give me. So I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. I just feel like as long as you're putting yourself into it, that's what makes you a good flow artist. That's what makes your flow real and authentic and beautiful and genuine. Anyway, next. I honestly play with my fingers like all the time. I have a lot of anxiety constantly, and I have ADD, so a lot of the times I'm just already moving around, moving my fingers. So it came very second nature to me because I did some weird things with my fingers as a kid, but I never really thought of like, hey, that could be art, you know? So when I grew up and found out like, hey, that is art, it just became very second nature to me. And the more I practiced, the more I just randomly messed with my fingers, the better I felt about myself. Eventually, I did get the courage to put those gloves on and gave my friends a show. It sucked. It was all over the place, but you know what? They still hyped me up. They still supported me while giving me constructive criticism, which is awesome. Like, be constructive. Tell me what I need to work on. Tell me how I need to work on it. I love that. That's all I could ever ask for. And that's what they gave me. And I think that is so important on your flow journey, is if you have the people that can hype you up and let you know you're on just such an amazing track while giving you like pointers and advice. Like, so after that show, I honestly got the courage to start taking my gloves to actual like public shows and like trade with people there, and that honestly helped a lot too. I don't know if you really noticed this, but your best shows are always going to be the ones that aren't recorded, no matter what. That's just how it goes. It's science, it's a universe thing. I don't really know why, but like I feel like when you don't have a camera on you, you're not really thinking about the next step, about what you're going to do with your hoop or your staff or whatever. Like, you just kind of think like, oh, I'm being watched, let me try to do my best moves and this and that. Like, no, when you're just in the moment and you're giving someone a show, it's not being recorded, it's literally so authentic. It's just you and them in that moment, and you're connected with your fingers, with their eyes, and it's just a different experience, man. A lot of you might notice that I don't actually use my gloves for a lot of my shows. I'm pretty vocal about this, so you might already know, but I do have epilepsy. I don't have the crazy kind called grand mal, where you're like constantly seizing and you don't know what's going on. I have petite mal, which means I have like little ones all the time, all over the place, all over the day. It's actually subsided over the years thanks to THC. Whoop whoop, shout out to Weird. I've honestly never had an epileptic episode at a show, gonna knock on some wood right there, or anything remotely close to the music scene. It's always been in the comfort of my own home when I'm with a friend or at work. I've never had it because of like strobe lights or anything like that, but sometimes they do get to me. So I'm very particular about when I use my gloves. I like my fingers more because I just feel like sometimes they can do more than what I can do with gloves, because they have those big bulky lights on them and they just kind of mess up my flow sometimes, you know, because I'm just like, wow, my fingers are so easy. I don't really know, but yeah, I will post more shows with my gloves. Like I said, it's just kind of rare. I like my fingers more, if that makes sense, but anytime you do catch me with gloves, just be ready, because it's pure magic. I love changing the colors, I love doing different tricks and patterns, and it's just beautiful. I love flowing. The art of flow is just so perfect in every single way. I've also had a lot of really big inspirations for my flow that have given me ideas for moves, or just have really inspired me. One of the biggest inspirations I have out there is Ripples, and if you know who she is, if you follow her on like pretty much any social media, you just know that she is just a ray of sunshine. She is so kind, so sweet, so uplifting. She believes in everybody. She's just so kind. Yeah, Ripples is one of my biggest inspirations, and if you're watching this, girl, I freaking love you. You're amazing. Never stop doing what you're doing, because you are just such a light. I actually got to meet her at Wakan thanks to my beautiful friend and fellow Glover, Sparky. You beautiful freaking human. Thank you for uniting us. She is also just such a talented Glover. I'm honestly in multiple flow groups, and on Twitter I follow a lot of flow pages, and I'm constantly seeing so many people, and just flow art, the way it connects people is just so beautiful. And if you are like just starting to get into it or you want to get into it, I just gotta say do it, because it is such a stress reliever. It saved my life. It gets rid of my anxiety. I could watch flow videos or flow to myself and my anxiety will just melt away and I will be happier. And I'm doing it every second of every day. Like, it changed my life dramatically in the best way, and I can only hope that it does the same for each and every person out there. So if you're looking to flow, get into something, whatever your heart speaks to, just go for it. And don't ever be afraid to give a show. Don't ever be afraid to ask for pointers and tips. Just let yourself loose. Let yourself go with the flow. Let your uniqueness out, because that's what is going to make you beautiful. That's going to make your show beautiful. Like I said, it's all about you and expressing yourself and being weird and being your best that you can be. So that is my tale of how I started flowing and my love for it and my appreciation for it. I think I'm gonna drop a little flow video for y'all because we talked about it so much. I think it's just about that time. Don't forget to comment what type of videos you want to see next from me. Don't forget to love yourself. Let me know what you thought of this video. Give me some feedback. Would love to do like a live flow sesh with all of you sometime. So let's try to make that happen because we need it. Alright, you guys are freaking amazing. Don't forget to wash your hands, brush your teeth, floss, and live your best life. Bye. So if you're looking to see what type of gloves you should get, I'm going to list 2 of my favorite companies down below, and you can see which ones are your vibe and which ones you want to get. I personally really love Futuristic Lights. These ones are actually amazing. These are going to be the new chromas that they have, so yes. But yeah, let's get on with the show flow.
I can't take this no more, baby.